Hi guys. Okay, let's see, 310. This one's might go way out. I might talk a lot here, so forgive me if I do. Welcome again. I'm gonna ramble here today. I've been doing this a lot. I did a count today. I have 17 artists slash bands left on my list. 17 more to go, and all these toward the end are the ones that were most important to me. So like as we get closer to the end, they'll get more. I'll gush a little bit more, pretty much, because I know the last one. I know the last 4 or 5 I'm going to do. So anyway, today, again, I won't be able to respond to comments as they happen. I'm really sorry about that. And I'm just going to ramble here. I don't know how interesting this is going to be, but I just do it anyway. So here we go. Today I pulled out, these are all singer-songwriters, pretty much. I have 3 of them. I might only get through 2 because I'm going to have a lot to say. I coupled the first 2 together because they changed the way that I look at writing and the way I look at music. So here we go. Here's where we're going to start. By the way, some of my rock friends, like my hard rock friends, they might not get anything out of this. Maybe the last guy. Probably the last guy. But the first 2, I don't know if you're going to like this or not. Definitely not the second one, probably. But these are things that move me, and they're things I love. So here you go. So my rock friends may not dig this at all, but it's stuff that was very important to me. So we're going to start with Sting. Sting is amazing. Sting deserves his career. Sting is a very original songwriter. He constructs songs kind of unlike anybody else. Like you can hear a Sting song and just go, oh, Sting wrote that, which is incredibly, incredibly hard to do, to be an original songwriter. So Sting's been around forever. Everybody knows he's part of the Police. I don't have the Police stuff in here. The Police is separate for me. So I just have Sting's solo record. Solo records, that's what this is. He just put out a new one, like just last week. It just came out, so I figured I'd talk about Sting today. I've been going through these chronologically, but I think I'm going to just start going into them in my personal experience, how I got into them. So I grew up on Motley Crue, Warrant, Van Halen, whatever, and I'm like, that's the only kind of music I like. This is it. You know, I like this kind of music, and I wasn't interested in listening to anything else. Very one-sided attitude I had. And then I worked at Blockbuster Video. And there were very few things that we could listen to on the monitors that were family friendly. And we got sick of the trailers, so we put in concert footage once in a while. But there were very few of those that were basically everybody could agree on. But one of them that we could do was this one, 10 Summoner's Tales. There was a concert video that it wasn't even a concert. They filmed it in the studio, but they played the whole album front to back. And this was on all the time. And after a while of hearing this about 50, 100 times, I started going, Sunday, I can't wait till Tuesday, Friday's on my mind. I was like, this is pretty, I started to like it. I started to really like it. And so I was kind of forced, like, to listen to this record. I just got something in my eye, sorry. Oh, no. Oh, anybody else got their contacts? Anybody got contacts out there? All right, I think that's better. So I was kind of forced to listen to 10 Summoner's Tales. And I grew to really like it, a lot of it. So this is very, very, very good. Most of you know Fields of Gold, right? Fields of Gold, beautiful song is on here. Shape My Heart, stuff like that. So, and then I got this record. I remember I got it, and I got it with a bunch of records. I think this is when I was in Columbia House. And I remember it showed up, and I remember my dad was like, Sting? I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So I started to listen to Sting, and I started to dig into the lyrics and go, oh, this is a little bit different. And just in general, it wasn't rock stuff. It wasn't heavy guitars, heavy vocals. It was more singer-songwriter, but I really did dig it quite a bit. So this led me to just kind of dig through his other stuff, pretty much. And this is my second favorite. This one came out in '96. This is my favorite. I got a YouTube review of this on my YouTube channel. So there's this. So let's. I'm just going to run through the Sting records real quick, and then we'll move on. First one, here, where we go? Oh, they're backwards. Here we go. So the first one after we broke with the Police was Dream of the Blue Turtles. It sounds very 80s. Great stuff on here, though. All Sting records are great, pretty much. I love Shadows in the Rain. Russians is very cool. You guys all know Fortress Around My Heart. Great chord changes in Fortress Around My Heart. I love Sting because he sings a lot of the 2 notes or the 4 notes in the scale. And his voice is incredible. You hear Sting, you know it's Sting. It's a very, I always think it's like a very English voice because there's like no vibrato. It's very Just there's the note. Phil Collins. Just there it is. You know. But he's got an amazing voice. I've seen him live. He still sings amazing. He just stands there with his arms folded, and then he sings this A's and B's. Like it's incredible. He's incredible live. So this is all very good. I would recommend all those. It's not solid, but it's good. And then there was this one. This was hit and miss. This is like Nothing Like the Sun. Englishmen in New York is a cool song. History Will Teach Us Nothing is cool. And like They Dance Alone, which I can't remember the story now, but it's a song about like women that dance for their soldiers who were their husbands or their sons. Just songs about things that I never thought about. Fragile is on here. Everybody knows Fragile, right? Fragile. Great song. Rocksteady, Sister Moon, all this, that's all very cool. This is his fourth record. His father died and he had a real hard time with it, so this is mostly about his dad. It's kind of a bummer record and it's kind of plotting, but there are some great songs on here. There's a song called Why Should I Cry For You, which is great, and Mad About You, which is awesome. So there's Sting. And then the fourth record, this is the one you should get, really. This is probably the most commercially accessible of all the stuff he did. If I Ever Lose My Faith in You is on here. She's Too Good For Me, which is awesome. 7 Days, which is great. St. Augustine in Hell. It's Probably Me, which he did with Eric Clapton and Michael Kamen. This whole record is great, except for I Don't Like Heavy Cloud, No Rain. Other than that, this is really good. By the way, all Sting records are on Amazon for like $5. It's shameless. I actually, twice in my life, I have gone on Amazon. I bought used copies. I bought Sting's entire discography and gave them to people. Just gave the his whole collection to friends of mine who were deeply into songwriting and go, listen, you got to listen to the way Sting writes songs. He writes songs like nobody else. That is true. And another thing with Sting, you got to dig in to get the album cuts. The album cuts are the better songs. They're the really interesting ones. So this one I would highly recommend. This one is my absolute favorite. Every song on here I love. I Hung My Head, which is a great song with like, I think 9/8 time signature, I think, about a guy who's borrowing his brother's gun. He's just kind of practicing target practice just with the sights, just for the fun of it. So he takes like aim at a guy on a horse, and it actually goes off, and he kills the guy on the horse. And then he goes to like prison. Then there's a trial, and then he gets hung. And it's a story song. It's brilliantly written. Johnny Cash covered it. It's just a great, fun song. Let Your Soul Be Your Pilot. I Was Brought to My Senses has amazing chord changes in it. Great chromatic fall down at the end. Awesome. This is my favorite one. I would really, really recommend this one. When I saw him last night, he did The Hounds of Winter, and I almost lost my friggin' mind, because who knows that song? Like, everybody sat down and went to the bathroom. I was like, oh my God, The Hounds of Winter. Amazing. So, there you go. That is my favorite Sting record. Mercury Falling. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And then Brand New Day. Everybody remembers Brand New Day. His hit on this was Desert Rose. This is the late 90s, and I really dug this record. There's a couple songs in here I don't like, but overall, it's good. Desert Rose, all right. Big Lie, Small World, also a great story song. Just listen to it. After the Rain Has Fallen is cool. Fill Her Up, Brand New Day, all good stuff. Stevie Wonder does a harmonica on Brand New Day, but this is pretty good. It's Sting still staying relevant in the late 90s. That can't be easy. And then this is a really good one. I gotta replace these cases. They're all cracked. Sacred Love, very good. I like this one a lot. They're all good, man. All Sting records are good. You don't need to hear me ramble about every friggin' song, but Never Coming Home and Stolen Car. Stolen Car lyrically is again brilliant. He's a character. He steals cars for a living. He breaks into a car, and then he gets a sense of who this person is just by sitting in their car, and then he backpedals and tells the story of what he thinks the people in the car's lives are like. Who writes songs like that? Nobody. All right? Great songwriting stuff. Really, really good. And then he put out The Last Ship a couple years ago, which I didn't know if everybody would like. I was kind of hesitant, but I tell you what, this is my second favorite Sting record. It's really, really good. I was surprised at how good it was. I love The Last Ship. Dead Man's Boots. This was a Broadway show that he worked on forever, so there actually was a Broadway show of The Last Ship. And these were songs from it. There's an extended version, and I have that, but I don't like those songs, the extra songs. But there's great stuff on here. I won't go through all of it, but I would try to get to this. The one song that stands out more than any is a song called The Night the Pugilist Learned to Dance. which is a ridiculous title. It's a great story song, and it's got great chord changes and melodies. It's just a real singer-songwriter song, The Night the Pugilists Learned to Dance. But The Last Ship by Sting, very, very good. I love this one very much. And then just recently, like last week, he put this out. I've been listening to it nonstop. Not really a big fan of it. For me, it's kind of toothless. I'll have a review up at some point, I'm sure. But there's like no energy with it for me, really. Don't really hate it. There's some good stuff on here, but it's not grabbing me hardly at all. It seems like it's kind of running out of steam. A lot of my favorite singer-songwriters have kind of, as the time goes by, gotten a little more toothless. Sting a little bit on this one, Richard Marx, his last one, Bryan Adams. But there you go. Sting has 9 solo records, and if you're a songwriter, I highly suggest getting them just because of the musicianship. He's got world-class musicians on here. And just lyrically and chord-wise, he really is like nobody else. Since we're showing all my records, here's the other ones. I got the greatest hits, and then I got the Demolition Man single, and then an orchestra does the songs of Sting, and then songs from a Labyrinth, which is like he redid a bunch of old songs by John Dowland. I didn't listen to this yet. And then here's a symphony doing a bunch of Sting songs, symphonicities. So there's those. So there's Sting. I know a lot of my rock friends are not really on board with Sting, which is a shame because he does write really, really, really well. Like a real songwriter. Also, his autobiography is beautifully written. He should be a novelist, honestly. His autobiography is... It's really interesting, too, because his autobiography is about his life up until the police start, and then the autobiography ends. It's just his life until the police, and then it's over. It's really a little disappointing, but it was very interesting. So, Sting, the real deal, man. No one like him. Very original. Hard to be original. All right, how long did I go? Oh, God, why do I talk so much? All right. I'm not going to make it. Not going to make it. All right, here's where I'm going to lose all of you. All right? Here's where I'm going to lose you all. But I admire the crap out of these girls. Here we go. Indigo Girls. Indigo Girls was huge for me. So I'm going to tell you how this works for me, and then I'll show you the records, and then we can move on. And if anybody stops watching, I totally understand. But if you don't know anything about the Indigo Girls, just bear with me, okay? I have a CD review of this on my YouTube channel that tells the story, but I'm going to do it again now anyway. Indigo Girls taught me how to... they opened up my mind lyrically. Like I was watching this VH1, whatever, top singers of the 90s or ladies of the 90s, whatever, and it was just kind of on in the background. And then this song came on, it was Closer to Fine. And it was Closer I Am to Fine, yeah. Shouldn't do that. And I was like, that's a great hook, because I'm a harmony junkie. I love harmony. So I looked into it. So just on a whim, I went out and bought the record, because I love harmonies. And then just the lyrics opened my brain up in a way that I'd never heard songs before. Just songs about life and about mortality, and just written in ways that I didn't... Very flowery. I understand they were standing on the shoulders of like Dylan and Leonard Cohen and a lot of other people before them, but in my little narrow world, I didn't know any of this. I grew up with Motley Crue and Night Ranger, and I mean, songs with lyrics like this were not on my radar, and it was very poetic, and it was beautifully written and intellectual, and like a bunch of words, some words I didn't even know. And I'm like, what is this? And it really moved me. Love's Recovery. You know, during the time of which I speak, it was hard to turn the other cheek to the blows of insecurity. Feeding the cancer of my intellect, the blood of love soon neglected, lay dying in the strength of its impurity. And you're like, what? What does that mean? And it's brilliant, brilliant stuff. So my favorite lyricist of them all, and I know this disappoints many people, I guess, my favorite lyricist in the world, in the history of the world, so far, is Emily Saliers of the Indigo Girls, who I love to death. So all I'm going to say is if you love harmony and you want to hear songs that are a little more intellectual and kind of make you think, Indigo Girls are phenomenal. Phenomenal. The harmonies they stole from the Beatles, all the harmony runs they got. So we'll go through these real quick. There's their first record. I mean, if I just listed all the songs I love, I would sit here all day. So there's Indigo Girls self-titled. But Where's the one that's beautiful? Hey Jesus is pretty cool. That's really good. So there you go. Here's the self-titled one. Look, Closer to Fine. Everybody knows Closer to Fine. It was actually on The Office. And the other one, Love's Recovery and History of Us. Oh, History of Us. Here's the third one, No Man Saints and Indians. The Girl with the Weight of the World in Her Hands is wonderful. And Southland in the Springtime. Ugh. Here you go. All right. What do we got? Rites of Passage. Galileo. Y'all know Galileo, right? Ghost. Ghost by the Indigo Girls. Look up Ghost by the Indigo Girls and just listen to those words. Everybody gets a heart broken and writes songs about missing somebody, but not like that song, Ghost. It's incredible. Gotta love that song. I got to see them a few times. One time with an orchestra, and they played Ghost, and I just kind of melted in my chair. Oh, so good. Romeo and Juliet, a Dire Straits cover, Let It Be Me. Really, really good stuff. Swampophilia. This one wasn't as great for me, but Least Complicated is awesome. The Language of the Kiss. Gorgeous. Fare Thee Well. Beautiful. There you go. Shaming the Sun, late 90s. Shame on You is a great upbeat song. Look up Shame on You. I love that song. Get Out the Map is wonderful. Everything in Its Own Time. Everything in Its Own Time is... It's such a dark, really interesting song. Look that one up. Come On Now, Social. The song Go is good. Peace Tonight. Soon to Be Nothing. Compromise. This is wonderful too. And then my favorite one, my favorite Indigo Girls record is Become You. There's a song in here called Hope Alone. Look that up. But this is wonderful. This is my favorite Indigo Girls record. And again, these are all on Amazon for, I'm sure, a couple of bucks. It's not fair. Moment of Forgiveness, Become You, Hope Alone, gorgeous. Great, great record. Love this one. Love it so much. Then they got All That We Let In. All That We Let In is a great song. Fill It Up Again, Free and You. All That We Let In, really, really beautiful. Rise Up is cool. So, Indigo Girls. And then we got a collection of, this is Rarities, right? Rarities collection. Great song in here called Winthrop, which is really interesting, and then Point Hope, which is good too. So I'm just going to rattle through these. Despite Our Differences, Lay My Head Down, Pendulum Swinger, Little Perennials, Last Tears, another breakup song, but so beautifully written. Poseidon and the Bitter Bug. Digging for Your Dream is great, and there's a song called, where is it? Fleet of Hope, which is really, really good. Beauty Queen Sister, which came out a couple years ago. Share the Moon is beautiful. Able to Sing, Yoke. Yoke is haunting. Look up Yoke, just like it sounds. Y-O-K-E, Yoke by the Indigo Girls. Haunting song. Really, really good. And then they put this out like last year. This is maybe this top 3. This is really, really solid. One Lost Day. Wonderful. I don't really think I'm going to sell anybody on the Indigo Girls. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I wish I could, because they're really very talented, and they write songs like nobody else writes. Very interesting. You got to really read the lyrics, and the harmonies are great, and they're just one of my favorites. They're one of my favorites, and they opened up my world. So I listened to Indigo Girls. I came to them in the late 90s, and when I was really writing a lot, and then I started going, oh, I can write songs like that. So I wrote a song called Lost, which is on Stolen Season, which is maybe my favorite lyrics I've ever written, ever. Like, I'm very proud of those. I was young. I was 22 and didn't know anything. I still don't know anything. But trying to write songs about life and how I felt, and like your place in the world, and mortality, and religion, and relationships, and everything. It was like, oh, this is really... So I wrote a song called Lost, which was on my first record, which is directly influenced by the Indigo Girls, without question. And I wrote a couple more of the time, trying to be heady and smart. And I wrote one called Beside Myself, which still no one's ever heard because it's not anywhere. And I wrote one called Twilight Again, which no one's ever heard because it never made it on any of the things I've done since then. But these Emily Saliers and Sting together hit me at the same time, right when I was kind of writing a lot of songs, where it turned me on to things that opened up my mind in ways I didn't know you could write, if that makes any sense. Because before that, it's just, I love you, you love me, I hate you, I miss you, I need you. You know, it's all very Diane Warren stuff, which I love. But these Sting and Emily Saliers made it where I go, oh, I can like really take my time with lyrics and try to make them mean something. and tell stories and about, you know, it changed me. These two artists changed me and the way I look at music. So I highly recommend them. I don't know what to say. All right, here's the live records. I don't really care for live records, but there they are. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Probably not. Do I have time? I'm going to go for it. All right. I know I'm talking fast. I'm sorry. I just don't want to bore anybody. I should make an Indigo Girls playlist on Spotify and share that. Because, I mean, depending on where you dig in, you might not like it. Anyway, moving on. All right, here we go. Now my rock friends are going to be a little bit more on board with me. Last one today, everybody. This guy. Anyway, I'm going to explain, and then maybe somebody will have a guess. There are some people in the world who have too much talent, who got just way too much, who got like triple helping of the talents. Whenever it's not fair. There's Harry Connick Jr., talented all around. There's people that they have too much. They can do everything. It's not fair. This is one of those guys. The one and only Rick Springfield. Rick Springfield. I don't know where to start. All right, I do know where to start. If all you know about Rick Springfield is Jesse's Girl, that is a crime. And there's many people, and that's all they know. And it's a shame because it's just has nothing. He's got, oh God, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit that Jesse's Girl is all that some people know. Oprah asked Rick Springfield to be on a show of hers of one-hit wonders, and he said, I have 17 top 20 songs, which is true. I mean, he's got 17 top 20 songs, and so he wouldn't be on the show. So, how to talk about Rick Springfield. All I knew was Jesse's Girl also, and then I think, I got, where is it, with Love Is All, So, when I was a kid, I got this on tape at a garage sale, and started listening to it that way, and I was like, oh, this is really good. Like, this is really, really good. So then I was at a used record store, and I bought this. This, if you don't have it, you should. It's so good. Rick Springfield is one of the greatest songwriters in terms of 3-minute, catchy, pop, fun songs about something real most of the time, half of the time. This all the way through is just incredible. And this again was like, I bought this and went, I got to get everything this guy's ever done. I bought this record and went, I got to have it all. I got to have it all right now. So, by the way, I have the Rock Candy reissues of these two also over here. So these three are the ones I listened to death when I was in my early 20s, I guess. Working Class Dog, Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet, and Living in Oz. And if you like Jesse's Girl, you really should dig into more of his stuff, because that's not really his best song. It's not his best song. I don't really ever like Jesse's Girl that much, to be honest with you. But he's got so much stuff that's so much better than that. Goofy 80s stuff. So, those are the three that I listen to all the time. Love Is All Right Tonight is a great, fun song. Carry Me Away, I've Done Everything For You, which was a Sammy Hagar cover. I grew up in the Midwest, so I knew the Sammy Hagar version my whole life. So I can't get into the Rick Springfield version, even though it was released first. I listen to it and I go, well, that's not right. The Light of Love, Everybody's Girl. I love Everybody's Girl. I know several people like that. Inside Sylvia is very interesting. So get all these. All of these got to be on Amazon for $5, man. You gotta, get that one. Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet. I Get Excited. What kind of Fool Am I? Is heartbreaking. Christina is a great song. Don't Talk to Strangers. How Do You Talk to Girls? Just One Kiss. I think Just One Kiss was written. Oh, who co-wrote Just One Kiss? I think it's somebody notable. And it's going to bug me if I don't look it up. Oh, yeah, Steinberg and Kelly. Steinberg and Kelly wrote Just One Kiss, who wrote Alone and a bunch of other stuff that we don't have to talk about. I forgot about that. He covered a Steinberg-Kelly song. Then there's this, Living in Oz. Get it right now. If you're listening to me, go on Amazon, Living in Oz, $5. Get it. Every song is great except Me and Johnny. I don't like Me and Johnny. Everybody likes Me and Johnny. I don't like Me and Johnny. But Allison is great. Affair of the Heart. Like Father, Like Son. It's a great song. Motel Eyes, Souls. This is all good. If you get one Rick Springfield record, I guess make it this one. I guess there's another one I love a lot, but this is kind of encapsulates what people think he's about, even though he's about a lot more. So there's that. Then we move on to Tao. How do you say it? I say Tao. This is okay, but it's a little more spotty for me. But one of the saddest songs of all time, seriously, is on here. My Father's Chair. If you look up My Father's Chair, it's heartbreaking. His dad died right before. He worked for a long time. He made records before he was before Jesse's Girl for like 10 years. And he worked for a very, very long time. His dad was a big supporter and a big influence on my dad, my parents, you know. So his dad died like 2 months before Jesse's Girl came out. His dad died right before everything happened for him. And I can't imagine how heartbreaking that would be. Can't even imagine. So he never got over it. He isn't still over it. And I don't even want to think about it. I don't even think about it. But that's the thing. So My Father's Chair is one of the saddest things. You listen to it and you cry. That's it. That's it. So a lot of people think Rick Springfield is the pretty face and this stupid pop song, but he's really got a lot more things interesting lyrically on his song. If you listen to the lyrics, there's some really heady stuff on a lot of these for a pop singer-songwriter. So My Father's Chair, Stranger in the House is great. Celebrate Youth, State of the Heart. I ripped off State of the Heart on one of my other songs that some of you might know, but we'll keep that between us. It's not on one of my records. It's on a different one. So there you go, Tao. And then Rock of Life. This was kind of spotty for me. But again, he's got a song called Honeymoon in Beirut. Who writes a song with that? Called that. Hold On Your Dreams is cool. But this is like this is late 80s? Yeah, late 80s. So it's kind of got that feel to it. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. I think he was running out of steam, to be honest with you. But what do I know? And then the Greatest Hits. I'm not going to talk about that because who cares? Then he did a really interesting project with Bob Marlette and Tim Pierce called Sahara Snow, which is very keyboard heavy, kind of synth programming, because that was the time, but it's really good. There's some great song here called Ravianne. Wonderful pop song. Psychoactive is a song, it sounds like Prince. Psychoactive, Miss Your Kiss, Suzanne, Heaven, Stranger, New Lover. It's very interesting. So if you're a hardcore Rick Springfield fan, and you just don't happen to have Sahara Snow, I would get this. I'd love it. It's very good. It's different, but it's good. Then there was Karma. I liked this one a lot. I was happy to see that he made a new record. Some good stuff on here. It's Always Something. First song, It's Always Something. I've had that song play through my head many times over the years because I'm just like, you know, we all got it. Something happens and I go, it's always something. And I go, it's always something every day. Great song. Religion of the Heart is good. Karma's good. Free is good. In Veronica's Head is awesome. And there's a bonus track on here that I call Hey Maria. I don't know what it's called, but it's Big Beautiful Friday Night. I don't know what it's called, but it's good. But this is really, really good. What made me happy about this is that he toured on this. And this came out about 4 or 5 years after I really dug into him and all this and loved him. And he wasn't touring, because for a while there he wasn't. And he toured. And I went and saw him on this tour at Six Flags. And that's why I went to see Rick Springfield in person. And I got the tour shirt from this tour, which is really wild. So this is pretty good. I liked it. Some songs weren't great, but some were. Then there's this one, Shock, Anger, Denial, Acceptance. Much heavier than you think. Look up Jesus Saves. Put up Jesus Saves right now. And remember, it's Rick Springfield. It's really heavy, actually. So that's a good song. Will I's a great song. I Don't Want Anything From You. Love that. Angels That Disappeared. My Depression. It's a dark record, but it's really, really good. This is how prolific this guy is, by the way. I'm not. We got more. He did a covers record. I got it because it was $1. I don't like covers records, but he covered For No One by the Beatles, and I love that song, so I bought this. Venus in Overdrive. This is a great record. If you love Rick Springfield and you stopped buying his stuff, this one is great. What's Victoria's Secret? Awesome. Miss That Someday is great. Venus in Overdrive, the song, is killer. Oblivious is great. Warning Shot. Mr. PC. I know this is ridiculous, but Mr. PC has one of my favorite bridges of all time, and it's like 7 seconds long, but it's such a great bridge. I love the bridge of that. And then there's a great song called Saint Sahara, which is written about a fan, a very young fan. She was like a young girl, and she was a fan of it. Showed up at a bunch of his shows, and then she passed away. But it's a beautiful song. Saint Sahara, gorgeous song. Venus in Overdrive, very, very good record. Overlooked, really. And then he did an album of lullabies. Why wouldn't you? Because you're Rick Springfield and you can do friggin' everything. So this is an album of lullabies that he wrote for his kids, and they're really good. Don't Keep the Same Man Waiting, and Another Rainy Night, Catch a Kiss. Oh, that's really good. It's just a collection of lullabies. Who does that? Rick Springfield. Screw that guy. Then a few years ago, Songs to the End of the World. I know a lot of people loved this. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I love Our Ship's Sinking. That's a great song. Hate Myself is a great song. I like Love Screws Me Up, but about half of this record fell flat for me, and I'm sorry. I know a lot of you loved it. I don't mean any disrespect. Just didn't hook me. I don't know why. I couldn't get into it, but I like about half of it, but I'm glad he was still being active. And then that brings us to his latest record, which I have a gushing review of on YouTube, so I won't talk too much about this. I'll just say, if you like anything I'm saying, check out the YouTube review, because I talked for 12 minutes about this. Rocket Science. This is maybe my favorite Rick Springfield record. It came out last year. This year. Is it this year? This year. Maybe second. I like every song on this record. There are 15 songs. I love them all. I don't know even what to say, because I could just gush. If I start, I won't stop, you know? So I'm just going to say Rocket Science by Rick Springfield. If you liked Rick Springfield and you didn't get this, highly recommend it. Great, great, great. My favorite record. Year's not over yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be my favorite record of 2016. This is so good. And then we'll backpedal a little bit. I got this a couple years ago. This was out in 78, I think. 77. Wait for Night. Good stuff on here. 77, everybody. Gold Fever is a cool song. Old Gangsters Never Die, $1 Million Face. Life is a Celebration. It's really good. It's different. It's not overly, there's no keyboards. It's not overly poppy. And then I got Beautiful Feelings. All right, look at this. This is how long this guy's been around, everybody. 40-something, 45 years. He's been around 45 years. He's an actor. He's a songwriter. He wrote his autobiography. He's written books. Wonderful Vibration, Beautiful Vibration. What is that called? Haven't read that, but I read his autobiography. Of all the autobiographies I have read, Rick Springfield's was the most interesting. It is super dark and incredibly honest, like stuff that I'm like, I can't believe he's saying this and letting it be out there in the world. But it's called Late Late at Night. It took me 3 years to understand that it's called Late Late at Night, because that's a line from Jesse's Girl, because I'm an idiot. But his autobiography, Rick Springfield's autobiography, I should have brought it in here, is super interesting and dark and kind of sad, really. I mean, a guy who's phenomenally talented hit the mother lode with the gene pool. I mean, look at this guy. He's 60-something now. He still looks, he's got everything going for him, and his book is very honest and open and dark and surprising. Highly recommend all this stuff. So, that is Rick Springfield. I am a tremendous fan of Rick Springfield, and once again, if all you know is Jesse's Girl, you are doing yourself a disservice by only knowing Jesse's Girl, because he is the real deal, man. He writes all this stuff, and he really puts his heart into it. He's a musician, and he's the real thing. So, that's it. These three people, Sting, Emily Saliers, and Rick Springfield, were a huge influence on me, and they're real songwriters, these people. Like, they don't write just like I Love You, You Love Me. They write real songs. So, I think that's it. I know I gushed a lot. I knew I was going to. I'm going to turn this off and think of a lot more things I wish I'd have said, because of how much I love these people and how much they influenced me. I would say, if you're going to check out anything by Indigo Girls, get Become You is really good, and their self-titled one, very solid. Sting, again, I would just get 10 Summoner's Tales. Everybody, you'll know half these songs already. And then my favorite, Mercury Rising. And Rick Springfield, I guess you get Living in Oz, and take a chance on Rocket Science if you want, because I love Rocket Science. I guess that's it. This is a tremendous amount of talking. I shouldn't be doing this at all. See, my voice is gone. I can't do any falsetto. It's terrible. All right. Thanks for watching. Here's a quick pitch. Here's my website. There you go. All right. After today, I have 14 artists left to talk about. So, I think that's it. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will talk to you whenever.